Voila! Hello, beautiful people. How are we doing today? Hope you can hear and see me. As always, maybe you can also hear the nice liquidation sounds in the background. And if you do, as always, let me pull up the chat here quickly. And then we can see if all is good here. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Where is it? Here. Let's see. Yeah, as always, please reach out anytime here, drop a comment, either on X or YouTube, and then we will dive into it. So for now, still waiting a few more seconds here, and then we will kick it off here. Got some nice stuff to cover here after yesterday's drop. No, it was quite a nice long that we took inside the academy. So hope everyone else got the chance to, get a nice long going. Because we are long and strong here, and I hope you are too. For now, we will see what is going on here. So let me quickly share this one here with everyone. And then as soon as I get some confirmation from everyone, who are we here? Barakat, as always, appreciate it, bro. Thanks for being here. I will start in a few seconds. We still have a bit to go for New York Open, so we can prep together and join for the fun. Live session starting now. Just shouting it out on X still. And as always, appreciate if you can share it too, either from the MMT main account or my private X account or on YouTube anytime. So really appreciate it. Let's go. Let's dive into it. No, Barakat is here, Kevin is here, and Phrase. Yo, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, what did we do? Let's dive into it. I want to be prepared with you for New York Open. So we're looking into this. We're looking into this pump here. We're seeing if it is sustained or not. And if we are getting some nice, follow through, or if we are shorting here, like just by the first look at it here, now what do we see? It's really simple because got asked often, are we shorting now? Should I short here? What do you think? Would I short here? And why would I not short here? Or why would I? So think about it. Always think, what will Michael do here? And I did not open a short yet, so I'm gonna tell you that. But tell me why. Why on this pump I didn't short? If you know what we did inside the Academy, by the way, Academy is free for everyone that has MMT Pro. So just sign up and you will get access to live streams every day. And also some nice educational content and some live trades together. So we were longing here because we see a lot of CVD bigger players trying to push us. And I told everyone in the academy that I don't think we're gonna get a big retrace here after this one. And from there we are up, 2.5%, not the worst. And yesterday we also longed here. So really important one here yesterday at the lows, because what did we get on this little swing failure pattern? It was a really interesting one, because if we come back here, we can already see it a little bit now on the lower time frame and on the accumulative picture. Where is it? There's a lot of orders that are being filled here, and especially big ones on spot. So 39 million people on spot try to push price. So if we look at this one here, this one here, we will see it more specifically on spot. No, here, first of all, we had some nice bands supporting us. We are getting bands here to the upside. No, not really. And the most important thing here yesterday during the New York Open session was that we came into this wall here, and then we saw this. So we saw those longs coming in, and that was basically right at the open. And I missed the drop here, but I told everyone here, listen, I want to see a long here holding. So from this area we longed the nice bounce here yesterday, and it was from here because we had a nice anchor from the low up to here, and that one pushed us out. So everyone in the academy here, I hope some of you managed to get some profits on this one in here. So yeah, That's what we did. Now let's see if we can make a new plan. Why don't I short here? Really, really simple, no? Because if we come back here to our main heat map chart, where are we? Whoop, here, heat and liquidity. We can see that CVD is rising, no? But open interest is falling. So what does that tell us? Because we see here, if we come in here, I'm not sure if you watched it, but there was a nice educational video out yesterday about my volume bubbles and how I trade them. And here, theoretically, no, it would be a nice trade based on that. But if you watch the video carefully, you know that what I want to see here would be strength and longs opening. And for longs opening, what do I need to see? I need CVD up and I need open interest up. Here, on the other hand, what we can see is that CVD is pushing up, no, here clearly into the high, but open interest is falling down. So what does it tell us? So there's big shorts taking profits, getting out, and not longs coming in. So we can also see that if we are looking then here, no, really clear, no new longs into this high here, no new shorts into this high. You can see a big drop off in net shorts, no, really nice. And that is something that can give us some nice confluence here to not short this all too crazily. And that is mainly the reason here why I did not look at any shorts where we are right now. So overall, I would still like it can fall out of the sky here for sure, but you have to stick to your system, no? And the trade idea that we followed is always we want to see longs here that are opening fresh and then we leave them behind. And it would be a nice scenario for a swing failure kind of move. Doesn't matter, we didn't drop yet, we can still drop, but again, I did not engage in any activity here. So for me, I'm mainly looking for long backtest trades. You might think, okay, Michael is crazy because at the end we got a nice rise here now of 6%. And why would I look for longs here now at the highs? Because if we zoom out, there's a few things to consider. Now let's come back in here first. You know that overall we are in this channel that we've been monitoring. No, very nice downtrend channel. We got into this reaction here that was the additional confluence for our spot that bought yesterday. And then we got a nice follow through. So far that played out. We came into the middle. I told everyone yesterday, I want to see the middle. We came into the middle and we got some nice profits going here. But I also told you, I don't want to short anything here. So really important now, not getting all too aggressive with shorts. Also here already, I told you in the Discord, I don't want to short anything here. And then again here yesterday and today in the morning. So no shorts for me yet. Our next area for sure would be 67K. That would be a juicy one. We can look for some other areas now together and for some deeper retracement. What we can already see here is the anchor. Now here, let me just re-pull that a little bit. Yeah, changes a little, not all too much. But the anchor here is definitely a juicy area. Might we get down there for New York Open? The best thing here would still to squeeze some shorts, no? Would just be to get up and get it going, in my opinion. But again, locally we're at the highs and we are at the mid of the channel. So that is why I'm like cautious in general with new trades. But overall, we have potential to change some structure here. We took out this high, no? So we could get, maybe not now, but we could get a retracement in and then we could look for longs again. So that is my local idea here for New York Open. If we just continue to trend and push up on New York Open, I might entertain a short here. What we can do here now is also really interesting because we know that Bitcoin sometimes loves to do that. No, yeah, we can see the difference here. There's a discrepancy now between inverse and futures with the close. It is not all too much, but still, this is the higher level, so I will monitor this one. So if we are going for this, I might consider something, but let's see if we can find something else first here. Also, if we're looking at this here now on the weekly, so weekly for sure we are still bearish now. Skywalker, is it possible to look at Pepe? I can have a look later, eventually after the open, maybe before, let's see. I normally don't trade any altcoins. So mainly here for Bitcoin, metals, real estate, and some stocks, and that's it. Let's see. Here, what I was saying is basically, potential. This is interesting, no? Because the week is only like 3 days old. We potentially have weekly positive delta, no? We had that here, here, here. Okay, but overall, we can see that it was dominated by shorts in general. And the candle has not the biggest wick. So could we still come up here to the weekly open 67,600, 67,600. It's all in this region. So another confluence for this region, but what it could tell us is that we might even go higher than this one. So not all too keen to short here. So have to keep that in mind. And then if we are looking here at our FIBs now from, let's say, this impulse, let's just have a look and feel around a little bit to see what we could get here with our 702, for example. Really good pocket that we are always trading. And if you watched yesterday's educational video, you will also know where I am looking mostly. Okay, this one here is not the craziest one. Malta map asked, OE down, CVD up, is shorts opening right? We have, I did not follow the whole thing, but we definitely did get shorts closing here in general. If you are not inside the MMT Discord, check that one out. Also, the free section has quite some juice, and then you also get access to Pro with the you get access to the Academy with the Pro subscription. So that is something that I wanted to say. There's also an option for you to get free MMT subscription if you subscribe here under the referral, basically, and link your accounts. Here, Hyperliquid, Bybit, and Blowfin. And then you can go to account settings, link it, and then when you generate fees, all the fees go towards your subscription fees instead of to the exchange. And that's really nice, I think. So you can make something useful with that. We were discussing not to short in the Discord, and we were also discussing not to short here since we started, and we've been rising still because what we've seen so far is only longs or shorts getting out of here, but no new longs coming in, even if we see some nice volume bubbles here at the highs. So that is something. Now here, volume bubbles. Normally, if you watched yesterday's videos, we would short it, but what we see here is CVD up, open interest down, and no real longs trapped here. So we did not do anything. Nuno Sosa is also here. Understood. Very nice. Very nice. It's a good one here. We don't need to short yet. Also, what is your level? It's just a swing failure pattern so far. Let's have a look at CVD in general, because we were also discussing earlier now in the Discord how we have our master template here. Let me sort this a little bit. Whenever I do streams, I reset all my layouts to fit well here live for you. Let's take this off on the side. And what we saw here is that basically since the low now on all our pairs, basically inverse, futures, and spot, we can see that for sure smaller players here are pushing, but the majority of the push happened here on the bigger players. Now, bucketed CVD 5 million, 1 to 5 million, 500 to 1 million. So the bigger players all pushing here on this whole rise. You can also see here 5 million pushing, 1 to 5, 500 to 1 million. Everything here from this low. The whole behavior change, no? Because overall before we had like chop, low, everything was going down, everything was going sideways or down or sideways. No one was really interested in anything here. So would I say this is a strong move so far? Absolutely. Will it get continuation? Well, I don't want to be bullish at the highs, but again, I'm not shorting this here either. So I'm still looking for longs here, and let's see if we can catch some together if we get a retracement. If not, if it just pushes up, we can look for some shorts a little bit above us. But in general, we don't want to jump in all too crazy here, even if it's a strong move so far. No, because CVD is up here on all our bucketed CVD. It's really nice to see some strength in the market. I still want to see some moves from spot here. Overall, bigger buckets on spot are not that active, but we can see that also the smaller ones or the medium ones here are picking up here. And the really interesting thing is if we look at bar stats now, here at our template. I went over that on my X account. Check it out, really nice to read this, because what we can see here is we have the bigger buckets here in one color, then we have the smaller buckets in another color. Now you can see it here, 1 million to 100, then 50 to 1K basically, and you can see patterns in that. So you can see here on the sell-off, CVD is pushing red, start to push a little bit green, but overall it's red and dark. There's no green or crazy stuff. For sure, we tried a few times, but in general, you can see then how it shifts here with strength, for example, easily, and then also the small buckets or the big buckets first here locally over the last few minutes. So big people here are trying to push us higher, and we are seeing also some nice delta and volume coming up. So everything remains still green here, and that's also why I would like to see more upside. So what's the difference between inverse and futures phrase? This is a very, very, very good question. Inverse is traded on Bitcoin or on the base pair basically. So that's why it's called inverse, because normally you deposit US dollar or USDT, and then you borrow Bitcoin to trade Bitcoin, but your base is US dollars. And inverse, the base is Bitcoin. So you deposit Bitcoin and then you trade with your Bitcoin. And in bear markets, you trade on futures. And in bull markets, you trade on inverse, because if price is rising and you hold Bitcoin, you're already rising with the price, And then if you hold longs, you're winning twice. You're winning with the Bitcoin you're holding, and you're winning with the longs that you're doing basically. So that's the main important thing here, and the best thing, in my opinion, to get the difference between inverse and futures. The thing is here, when you look at the CVD master template, all my templates are available here. If you go to layouts, overlay, community, and then look for coach, you can find all my master templates here. And the CVD master template, if you look at it, you have to consider this. On the left side, we have spot. Spot has no leverage. Spot cannot be stopped out. Spot is the real driver. Spot is the one that is pushing. Spot is the one that we need to watch and follow closely. Then we have futures and inverse, and both of them are leveraged. So we have the potential to stop out people there. And that can be a sign, if spot is lagging, for example, spot is not buying. We see spot is buying here, spot bought here. Also, you see the uptick. You see also the nice longs that we saw here. Volume Bubbles highlights it beautifully, Spot here, 25 million buying. Crazy. Everything is up. CVD is up, CVD is up, CVD is up. Everyone on spot bought there at this level. No one knows exactly why. It was the low of the channel, so we monitored that. But spot bought here and started to push, and then everyone else is following up here with CVD. You can clearly see it by using the buckets and by having those different container sizes where you say, okay, retail, smaller players, bigger players here overall, and then is everything pushing and is everything in sync? And so far, everything is in sync now, because price is rising. Price is rising also on inverse. Inverse is pushing, CVD is pushing with it, and spot is also pushing with it. So why short uptrend locally? So that's why, basically, hope that makes sense phrase for you. Let's check if there's some other questions so far. I believe I was wrong, Michael. I thought we wanted to see open interest lowering to think about shorts. We want to see new positions coming in. So always check it with net longs and shorts. Here, you see, now longs are coming in, for example, trying to push us higher. But before, into this high here, you can clearly see that CVD is up, yes, but longs are down, shorts are down. And if we check it here also, we also identified that into the move itself, open interest is down. So not open interest up, no strength, no new orders. And you can also clearly see it here now. Price is going up. You see those big bubble. But open interest is dropping off here already. So shorts are closing out here already. Big shorts are closing overall. And then CVD goes up, and we don't have this typical behavior. So that's why I'm not into any shorts and why I didn't short the bubble. And for everyone that wonders what the bubbles are, check out the MMT X account. There's a nice video that I released yesterday about how to trade them and why we would not short it here. So really easy to see and to help you judge. Let's check if there's a few more questions. Whale still quiet on spot. Braveheart, welcome back. Welcome back. Whales, where are we? Whales are, yes, a bit, but if we zoom out here, what we can see is that, yeah, they are slowly laddering up, no? Like we had the big push at the lows, yes, yesterday, here, big push up, no? 1 4 2 1 2, okay, sideways push. Overall, the huge whales, yes, they're still sleeping there, but that's also okay, because if the rest is all pushing up, no, and here futures, everything is in alignment, then I would expect higher. So that's the whole thing where you always have to consider, okay, where are we overall? What is happening in the market? What is happening with CVD, inverse futures perps? What are they doing? Where are they pushing? Are they doing a good job in pushing? And if they are, why short it? So for sure, it can drop to zero from right here, you know, like it doesn't matter. But you need to have a framework in your mind where you're saying, okay, this looks juicy, but I still don't short it. It might play out, but the important thing is to stay out and to stick to your rules. So that's really important, no? Let's check what else. CVD up, delta up, and open interest is down. Yes, exacto. Coinbase is the best one to track spot. Phrase, I would check Binance and Coinbase, because I think the buys yesterday, let me check that again here. Let's see if I missed something here. We have a few more minutes to go for the open. Let's come back here and open the terminal. What did I want to see? Order flow. No, I wanted to see OB and bands. Here. If we check again yesterday, here on the heat map, we went over that in a session yesterday also, how to read it and how to align it and to match it properly. So you see market orders versus limit orders, what is being executed, what is being spoofed, and what is being, yeah, here. Let's see. Binance on the ticker and aggregation is on all of spot. What we can do now is here with the aggregation, and you see how butterly smooth this is. I love it. Look at it. Here, OKX, okay, 27. Kraken, 27. Deribit, 27. Coinbase, 1 million only. Now, Bybit, 26. Bitfinex, 26. So where was it? Binance. Binance spot basically was pushing really hard here. Then we can see it that way, and it's super responsive now with the aggregation, like insane. Like, and if I did that in ADAS, I always had to restart the whole thing, and it took forever to load the data and to get it there. So really important here to monitor it like this. Let me quickly check. Here we go. Come back here, come back here. Still nothing crazy. No. Oh, what's going on? Notifications are being sent out from exchanges. Everything is rising. It might be a first info. So, Italian Staloini. Italiano o no italiano? Non lo so. Why do people always talk about big OI increase as bearish? So we did not talk about big OI increase as bearish. We did not at all talk about it. We said here into the high, no, we have a decrease in open interest before we come into the high. Normally what we want to see is a big increase in open interest with CVD into the high. But here that happened before, no? The increase in open interest here is before the high was put in. So all those longs here are not really new positions that are coming in. And if you want to trade reaction-wise and have trapped orders or traders up here, you want to see open interest up into exactly this high with CVD, with longs opening, and then you can short it if it's lost again. But not like this here where we get those longs here, but you see open interest dropping off again before, and the rise before, yeah, was nice. But is it bullish rise if we are then getting the volume bubble here with a lot of shorts exiting? Not bullish or not bearish, you know, like we don't have anything to counter trade here. So that's the important thing. Italian Stalloni. So we would like to see similar picture on open interest as on CVD in this particular case with 36 million bubble. I would love that. If we come up here again and we take out this high, I would still like to come up here first before even considering to short. And then if we check out the lower time frame T-Web here, where is this one? Everything points higher, 69K. 69K is really the next juicy one. I would much rather prefer to push through here totally. But yeah, we are not out of the woods yet. We are also here, we can clearly see it now. If we check it out like this, we are trying to get back into the range here. That is something nice. And then we can come up back to the top of the range. But overall, again, biggest level is 69K here on the daily time frame. This one moves, so keep that in mind as we are trading this. This one will move tomorrow a little bit more down and so on. But I will not all too keenly short here. So even if we would get a big bubble here, maybe if it's bigger than 36 million and it's on a swing failure pattern for New York Open and then we get a reversal, that would be a scenario that I might short, but then I would need to see open interest up, CVD up, and then we come here and check what's going on. Longs up, I want to see longs up here. Net longs needs to go up. So we need to know that new longs are coming in, and then you know how to trade it if you watched the video from yesterday, no? And also take a look at net long and shorts. Correct. What's opening and closing to support? Yeah, damn smooth. Not you, sir, but in general. Got it. Italian. Stalloni. Is that an Italian name? Or you want to say stallion? But in general, I get what you mean. People are always saying that, but that's wrong. You need to see open interest and CVD as a tool to judge how many new orders are coming in or are taking out of the market. So it's like an inventory, basically. You can judge, you know, what are people doing. And we are right here because like we did not short this. And I told you from the start here from like what, half an hour ago, that we're not shorting this because it was mainly shorts closing out here into these highs and we're coming back to it. So you would not be in profits here for sure. Let's see what it was, 70% scalp potential, but yeah, no, not doing that. So dropping into the high is good for continuation. If it's short closing, it's what we want to see. And if we are getting that continually, what does it mean? We are squeezing shorts also. So that's also a nice possibility, no? If we are getting back here and checking out and considering that people have been shorting here all the time, rising, this one here in efficiency. Let's check out inefficiency quickly, where we are in terms of, I will keep this one open as a main one. This one here, nothing changed all too much, just on a broad view. No, there's not much red popping up, not much green popping up. I will not be all too crazy to short here anything. What did I want to check out? TPOs here. TPOs overall, if we expand it, still bullish scenario. If we can hold the point of control, nothing changed here at all. On the lower time frame, what we can see is we are getting into some nice, we talked about this morning. So single prints, imbalances, however you want to call them, below us. And then also some are coming up here where we are eating into them right now. So most of the time I would want to see them eaten through. 67,300 on the weekly. We also have something here, 67,300. So single prints to fill, inefficiencies to fill here on the way up. New York will open in a minute. And the plan here for everyone that joined a little bit later is still the same. I don't want to short here. I gave a lot of reasons. Wind back to figure out why we didn't short here. Really important. Can crash down. It doesn't matter. Overall, we are still in a strong local intraday uptrend. So I want to look for longs naturally, or I want to see a lot of longs being trapped somewhere. And then where do I want to see that? Naked VWAP close here next. How much would that be here for New York Open? 2%. If you want to be super crazy, open longs at the highs. I will not do that, but again, I would like to see a push up. The question is just do we get some longs in there? Overall, then for sure, if I look at it like this, and no, this is a much nicer, deeper retracement, and we would take a lot of liquidity from here. If we come back into this one here, let me check if we have some other, yeah, weekly open and everything is also here. That's the thing here with the weekly open. No, that's not the stuff we discussed before here. If we go back here to the weekly time frame, you can see the wickless candle here. So that is something where, okay, we have the weekly open right around that place. And then if we are pushing up here, no, that would be the trade for me for the first region. But the question is then, okay, we have this wickless weekly candle and it has potential to push us higher, no, in order to make a nice wick, because the week is still fresh and we still have like 3-4 days to go. So can we push up higher, make a larger wick and come back down? Absolutely. So then in that case, if we don't get longs here or anything crazy, no, this is the trade. The trade is then more up here, fake out the top of the channel, for example, get everyone bullish and then get going and then reverse it. So medium time frame, lower time frame, and also to the downside here on this anchor, lower time frame trade. In general, I don't want to chase this here. We got in a nice long this morning in the academy around this low here, and we are in a nice long from this low here yesterday. So we will not be all too aggressive, but again, really important to see. Where are we locally? Let's check that quickly. Here we are coming. We are getting some increase in CVD, positive delta, and open interest. So longs are trying to push us, and we are getting some aggressive shorts here, longs in here, sorry. So the question now remains the same, you know, what is going on here? There is longs coming in here actively now. I think we can also fairly say that, because we can also see here and here, not all too much actually. Not all too much. A few longs came in. Not all too much. Will I short this here now? No, I'm too late already in case I missed it. But we got a nice volume bubble here with an increase in... no. Also, the volume bubble is not finished yet. So I will still not short this and wait. Let's check if there's some questions. Okay, so if you're always driven and rising the high, who is pushing the price down? Spot sales. So let's quickly monitor this. So if OI dropping into the high is good for continuation. Yes, that I discussed already. No phrase. Okay, so if OI is and open interest is rising. If OI and open interest is rising, it's both the same thing that you wrote, phrase. If it's CVD and open interest rising, no one is pushing price down. If both are rising, it's new longs are opening basically, depending if you see net longs or shorts. Here we see a drop in open interest, positive delta, CVD is up, some longs. No, I will still not short this, no matter if it drops to hell now. Really important here for me to see what's going on here. So some spot buys coming in here, mainly spot buys here, inverse all the stops that got stopped. There is definitely some nice longs here that we can counter trade here. But again, overall, I would still like to see a nice flash. There's shorts coming in here now. Oy, 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 oy. Naughty boys and girls. Let's monitor this. New York Open Shop. Same rule as before. And I have to stick to it now because I told you before, listen, it's there. It was pretty evident. No open interest down, CVD up. Here is a little bit more tricky because you can see that we just have this little bar going down here, this little candle. But overall, it's not strong enough for me to short anything because of two things. Overall, not a strong rise in open interest, no. Positive delta, yes. And some longs with CVD. But also here we can see that we did not get a ton of new longs opening up here. So, and I don't have a strong level here. So I would much rather have this rotate down because we are in nice longs. And I don't want to give away profits for that all too much. No, we cannot do that. So for sure, this can go down now, but I will wait this one out because we're in nice longs and I want to catch some potential trades in the direction with the trend. CVD, yes. Was that a backtest of those positive volume bubbles from earlier? It was not. I don't class it as a backtest. Like, we lost it pretty quickly, and for sure we can drop down now. Negative delta, but it wasn't a typical backtest. So this one, if you checked the video from yesterday, I would only have traded it as a swing failure pattern if we would have gotten some substantial volume in here and a rise in open interest and a rise in net longs. So for sure, you see now we are rejecting here mixed signals, and whenever you're in doubt, stay out. You know, there's a rule on sail on the boat, and it goes like this, you know, because you have gusts with the wind and strong winds, and if you're sailing and you have the sails out, you need to think about making them smaller when the wind goes up. But the moment you're thinking about making them smaller, it's already too late. So you need to prepare and you need to think forward, you know? And it's the same here. When in doubt, stay out. Like, if you're not 100% sure and you don't have a strong level here and a strong conviction, it's better to stay out than trade the chop. For sure, some trades go terribly wrong, would go in your direction. It could be the short of a lifetime here, you know, it could go to zero, but you need to get rid of that thinking. Really important. There was a 40 and 50 million at 66 to where? The one before. I don't see that one. Oh, no. Cool. Let's see what is going on here. VWAP. Could we trade the VWAP? We'll see. We'll see. What we did yesterday here was at the lows, basically. We got some nice... Where is it? Let me zoom back a little bit now. We got some nice negative delta and aggression here into it. So what we can see is coming back into the anchor and then rising it. And we had negative delta in it with a little bit of volume. So that is something to keep an eye out if we would get back there. But again, no trade taken yet here. I will still wait for lower for long here or the VWAP close above us. In general, choppy open so far, and we did not get anything crazy yet. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, please, as always, leave a like or a comment, please. Really appreciate it. Also with sharing our content and resharing them, you know, it's always appreciated. It always helps us grow. And if everyone is happy, we are happily doing those streams here for you. So we really appreciate any like or any comment and any feedback on the sessions. So yeah, very nice. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Let's see what the chop here brings. VWAP, we are monitoring next for a potential long, and then the anchor from the lows, if we are getting that one. And then we are monitoring the same thing, but we would like to see some nice shorts opening here. So far, got a little bit of chop, a little bit of drop. We got the swing failure of the New York Open that we talked about. I didn't take the trade as mentioned. And I will also not flash you a nice short here because I really don't take the trade if I tell you so. Michael, what's for you the best levels of interest? Anchored VWAPs, Fibonacci, VPOC, TPOC, daily VWAPs, low volume nodes, OBs, or just try to max confidence possible? Ooh, juicy. My main levels are VWAP closes. No, did I just close out my main chart? Yes. Let me try to open that up again before I lose it. Main levels here. My main levels are VWAP closes, anchored VWAPs, and deep retracements. So I will mark out what we did here before. pips. I think we tried to pull it from here, but then adjusted it because we had some nice juice higher. So let me quickly add this one, 0.702. No, here we go. That's it, to the right, and then we don't want the prices. And we want to hide the trend line. And then we said, okay, this is not the low that I want to see, but I want to see, or the high, I want to see this high. And that's the basically next area for me on the medium time frame. I will also mark this one out again here with a nice bubble up here, nice square. And then I will save this. And if you load the templates through the overlays community tab here and look for coach, you will also get this with all the drawings anytime. Really important. Maltama posted a picture in the Discord. Let me check that one out here. You have some bubbles here before. That's the thing. I always recommend if you are using volume bubbles, because now first I need to know what are you looking at, because here, for example, we are looking at aggregated data, no 1 minute time frame, aggregation, and all of the exchanges. So the best thing is to look at it that way. Footprint clusters or profile, in my opinion, profile is good here, delta mode, and then aggregation. Then you know really where it's coming from and you can disable it. It's the same here with the trick that I showed you before, where you can just disable it and then the numbers are changing here. You know, you see that there's a few million coming from here, a few million from there, and then you know where are your bubbles coming from that you are looking at. But you also have to consider, yeah, it's anyhow those I think that you're mentioning. Yeah, those are the ones. Yeah, and then here with those. Yeah, hope that helped the question, Malta map. Let's come back here quickly. Single prints, single prints, single prints. No, let's come back to my main levels. No, so basically, VWeb closes, deep retracements, naked point of controls, VWebs. That's it. Single prints, yes, single prints. I look at, as discussed here, but that's just additional confluence for a zone to look for something. It's not like a level that I will scalp all too much. Low volume nodes, I look at sometimes. I think we did a trade on that a few days ago. Small scalp, but nothing all too crazy. Kev and Gokikes, thanks. Hello, Joaquin. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Appreciate it. Let's see what's going on here. We are still trying to drop a little bit. What's in the books here? Everything is lifted. There is no new participation really, no? We can't see a ton of new shorts. We can't see a ton of new longs. So just longs coming out of their trades right now here, but also nothing really counter tradable. So you always need to know where we are and what is your environment. And yeah, could go down. It looks like we could go a little bit down here for sure. Show some weakness in general, but yeah, that's it. Yeah, very simple, ladies and gentlemen. I'll wait a little bit longer here with you. Maybe a quick look at silver when you have time. Bombadil Nightly. What a nice name. I will look at silver. Yes, let's do that. And then I'll wrap it up. For Bitcoin, again, uptrend. Strong intraday trend so far. Big CVD pushing. We've adjusted and saw this one here on our CVD master template. So not all too keen in shorts here yet. We don't need to be exact with our entries and we don't need to be sniping every high. So better to wait until this changes, until CVD drops off here everywhere, you know, and then we can look for a change in market structure. But overall, I would still like to see higher and I would like to see trades with the trend. So I will more look for longs with the trend at the VWeb or at the anchor versus shorting everything. Shorts here eventually, but potentially and better around this region here. That would be juicy. So keep that in mind. Now I will go over to metals and have a look at metals and silver, because what we did on silver here yesterday or 2 days ago was we had a liquidation zone here. We were ranging. No, we came up here, weekend, then we got a push up, and we started to range here, and we got a nice spike in liquidations here and here. And I told you about it in the Discord short, and this was a nice long area, and we're still in that long. And here we got a nice drop locally, and for me that's still the same area. If we look at the bigger picture here on silver, no, I would still like to see this region here, this one taken out, this one taken out, and you see how we've built this area here. It's really interesting because at the end now we have huge liquidation areas below that, and it's pretty far away, but this one here is always pretty close. So overall gives me a nice confidence. We had another level here, I think, with our highways earlier, but in general this is still the scenario for silver for me. If we are getting into our region here up to 95, I will look for short. If we push up higher, I will not chase it, but I will start opening shorts probably around 91 to 95 region. And then I would like to take it down at least here into the VWAP again. Remember, we are in nice longs on silver, so the same is here. Now we longed this one here, like I'm in long from I think 69. I showed you also the entry and everything, and we were waiting for this swing failure pattern, and then we got the rise. And then we took a few more longs here on the back tests and on the retraces, and then also here I think on this region we were looking for some longs, and then on this region we were looking for some longs. We had some anchors there, so really important. Don't get an option to aggregate the volume bubbles. You need to be on footprint charts and footprint clusters, and then you can aggregate it, and then the base, whatever is underneath it, will be aggregated. So for me, still would like to see this, and then I'm looking for shorts there. Really simple with how I trade metals. The important thing is here, keep an eye out on gold, because gold in general now is not that bullish in my opinion as silver, and simply for the fact that we had this high here put in, drop, one more drop, and then this drop was lower. For sure bullish upwards, but if you check it out here on silver, you can see that we have clearly taken out the low on silver. Now 1, 2, third swing failure pattern. That's the long that we took for the swing, and I think we're up 30 something %. Yeah, nice. And that's why I'm still like, okay, on gold I could still think of a swing failure pattern of the lows here, but on silver, yeah, we'll see what it does. Legend, thanks to you, everyone. VWAPs from previous sessions. You look for untested VWAPs from previous sessions, consider anchored VWAP from previous sessions. Correct. Anchors from the main lows or highs where there's a lot of volume, or from major pivot points, and the anchors are, or the VWAPs are closest. You see how nice is this? Here, we are still in no short. We also identified this as a no short, and you see that we are coming back here. So we are also still not shorting this here, or I am not at least. Yeah. Where is the chat for this? Rooster, you are in it. You can drop the questions here or in the Discord. So if you're not in the MMT Discord, you can drop the questions there anytime, and I will get back to you, or you can tag me on X and I will get back to you. So remember that. And there is some action on Bitcoin, but we are not shorting it, ladies and gentlemen. Really important. And I want to leave you with that, you know, keep these levels in mind, save it here. I saved it. This is the next area. Else I will just chase longs here, and I will not be all too aggressive. I will update you in the Discord as always. I appreciate some likes and comments, so thanks a lot for that. And thanks for tuning in. I will all catch you in the Discord maybe on Friday for a chart and seal session. It's basically free for everyone that has MMT Pro. And I will not be all too crazy here for Bitcoin. I really want to see big longs opening up here. And we've discussed the whole session how we do that. So wind back, rewatch it. There was a lot of nuggets in there, I think, where you can learn on why we did not short here and why we did not short here and why we are not shorting here yet. So hope you enjoyed it. And I will catch you all on Friday latest. So cheers, thanks, and goodbye, ladies and gentlemen.